To the teachers, assistants, and support staff who see potential in every child, Grand Canyon University recognizes you. We created the National Center for Teacher Preparation at GCU, along with a generous scholarship, so you can become a licensed teacher with paid benefits. Over 100 GCU alumni have been recognized award recipients, including Superintendent, Administrator, and Teacher of the Year. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/parapro.
This is Sid and Friends in the morning. 77 WABC.
We're in the heart of Long Island City, just a block away from the 59th Street Bridge. Queensbridge projects here. Hotels, notels, motels, everywhere filled with migrants. Well after curfew, as you can see behind me. Everybody just hanging out to the wee hours of the morning. This is mad crazy, chaos, out of control. You think the mayor comes down here and looks at all the hotels that have been converted into migrant centers? Blasting music, outrageous behavior. This might well be the worst part of the city. I mean, every block. And liberals, progressives, socialists live here, so they don't complain until now. Now they want Curtis and the Guardian Angels here. Well, we'll see what we can do. But it's a hot mess.
A man decides after 70 years that what he goes there for is to unlock the door.
So Danielle and I are dating. It's 1991. We got married in 1992, my beautiful wife, Danielle. And I love this song, Crazy, by Seal. You know, he ended up marrying, what is that supermodel? She was on America's Got Talent with Howard Stern. And what is her name? The German girl, the blonde girl. He married her.
I know, I'm thinking.
And he's got he's a good-looking guy, but his face is all messed up. What's her name, Curtis?
Oh, Heidi Klum?
Heidi Klum. Very good, Curtis. So Danielle actually bought me this album. That was the first gift she got me back in 1991. And it is crazy. Curtis, once again, the voice of New York. He really is. Listen, I got no reason to suck up to Curtis. I got no reason to suck up to anybody. Anybody. But he is the voice and the heart and the soul of New York. But I've got terrible news for you, Curtis. Terrible news.
What?
George Clooney has asked you to step down in your run for mayor.
You know, he would have had to be at the Whitestone Republican Club last night, a revival, Vicky Palladino and all her followers. Last minute, I had a substitute for our colleague Dick Morris. He couldn't make it. 5 minutes to go. You know me. Give me a microphone. We didn't get out of there until 10:30 at night.
Is that right?
I must have gone on for 2.5 hours. These people were dancing when they heard that New York State has now been pronounced a battleground state. Because, I mean, those are uber Trumpers there.
Oh, there are. And, again, somebody told me a couple of days ago, Trump's only down 1 point in New Jersey. And certainly I've got a great relationship with Jack Ciattarelli and the folks out there. New York's in play. At the very least, if Trump doesn't win New York, he may not win New York, of course, but the down ballot voting in New York, they're going to add seats. They're going to add seats.
See, this is the problem. The last two election cycles, 2016, 2020, I was outside the polls. Some of the people online 4 or 5 hours for Trump. They go in. They lock in for Trump, and they leave.
No, you can't do that.
They got to go straight
down.
Straight, because that's what the Democrats are worried about now. Down ballot.
Yes,
going to affect
they should
us.
be worried.
So
and a state like New York, like you said, could easily flip a couple of seats in favor of Trump and the Republicans, which we have to do. It is enough with these Democrats. The mayor, the governor, all of them suck.
If you don't know who the people are, just go straight down Republican.
Right. That's it.
But you can't just vote for Trump and then leave.
No, you can't do that. So you were telling me a story. We covered men's basketball in the Olympics. Look, it's a slow time of year for sports. Mets are playing great. It's exciting. Yankees finally got a win last night. But don't forget, when I'm in Milwaukee next week, there's no baseball till Friday because it's the Major League Baseball All-Star break. And they're going to play the game in Arlington, Texas. The Texas Rangers won the World Series last year. So now we're already talking about training camp 2 weeks away for the Jets and the Giants. So the men's basketball at the Olympics in Paris is getting a lot of play because you have LeBron James, Steph Curry, a bunch of Hall of Famers playing together, Kevin Durant. But you said, talking about men's Olympic basketball, that you were in an area last night famous for great basketball players, and some of these residents are afraid of the illegals.
Basketball players and rappers. Queensbridge projects in the shadow of the 59th Street Bridge, or is it the Queensboro Bridge, or is it the Ed Koch Bridge? Would you make up your mind and pick one name?
I can stick with Ed Koch. I know the Mario Cuomo deal bothers people, but I can stick with Ed Koch.
So anyway, Queensbridge is the biggest public housing in America. It's got two sections. It's that big. So you go Queensbridge, Ravenswood, and then Astoria houses. But everybody's afraid of Queensbridge. I had a headquarters there. It's a blood project. So you had right on test. You remember Meta World Peace.
I remember him as Ron when he went to St. John's, and I really wanted the Knicks to draft him, but the Knicks were, they had a lot of small forwards. Latrell Sprewell was here at the time and others, and they said, we don't need him. So I guess he went to Indiana. And I really wish, just like Chris Mullin, all those St. George stars played in New York, but Ron did not.
No, in fact, he was a mini Dennis Rodman, defensive prowess. And when they won with the Lakers, they interviewed him. What are you saying, Meta World Peace? I want to thank my psychiatrist for keeping me cool, calm, and collected. Remember that famous interview?
And because he needed to be cool, calm, and collected, because maybe the most famous brawl in the history of the NBA during a Pacers-Pistons game was started by Ron Artest.
Exactly. Meantime, there was also a place, the hallowed ground, the basketball court for Vern Fleming, who went to nearby Monte Cristi and Astoria, U.S. Olympic team, Nets, Pacers.
Very good player for the Pacers.
These are iconic figures.
Yes.
So I'm walking through Queensbridge, right? And I'm saying, hey, you see Nas lately, MC Shan, Prodigy, Noriega, Capone, Marley Marr, Roxanne Shante. These were all big-time rappers who came out of there. The brothers and sisters were saying, man, we don't go out of the projects now in the hood. I said, what do you mean? I said, look at all those illegals over there, man. These people are mad crazy.
Oh, hold on. You're telling me that the black people there are afraid of the illegals?
Yeah, because they're out all night, the illegals. There's no curfew. The other day, remember, they assaulted two police officers. They turned out they were from Ecuador. It was like me pulling teeth. They were out there last night. You saw them in that video. They're having a cookout. They're blasting their music. They're talking trash. And the brothers and sisters are like, yo, man, what? That's our neighborhood. They took our neighborhood. 24 no-tell motels converted into migrant shelters. The mayor never goes there. Never goes there.
Well, I will say this. The mayor and your city officials, and this is the truth, folks, they're lying to you. They're lying to you.
Hi, it's Lou Dobbs for Priority Gold, America's precious metals dealer. These are volatile times with high inflation, soaring debt, wars on multiple continents, and rising financial stress. Central banks are buying gold to diversify their reserves, so are many Americans. Call Priority Gold and find out how precious metals can help you diversify your portfolio. They're highly rated and happy to help. Call 1-866-303-6357 or get a free gold guide at PriorityGoldGuide.com. That's PriorityGoldGuide.com.
There are many, many, many more hotels. Listen to me now. Many, many more hotels and places of residence for these illegals that your local officials are telling you about. Now, if you approach them, they may lie or they may say, yeah, recently, but there are many, many more than they're even telling you.
Now, whose congressional district is Long Island City?
Long Island City is going to be
AOC, all crazy Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, leader of the Socialists of America, who kicked out Amazon. We don't need Amazon. We love migrants. She doesn't go into the district. They all avoided. Who's in the district? Curtis Sliwa and the Guardian Angels. Because the liberals, progressive socialists are saying, we're overwhelmed. They're having sex right outside of our brownstones. They're drinking cerveza and blasting out weed until 4 or 5 in the morning. They're going up and down with their motorcycles, their mini motorcycles, their mopeds, their Vespas. And the cops have been told, hands off. Let them run roughshod.
You know, right now, Donald Trump is in a great position Partly because he was a very good president. He was a great president. Great. The greatest single-term president ever, maybe the greatest president ever. But largely because Joe Biden is such a mess. I look at you in the same situation. There is no question in my mind that nobody knows, loves, and cares more about this city than you. And that's a plus for you. But the mayor, Eric Adams, has been such a colossal disappointment, a complete waste of time, that much like Trump is taking advantage of Biden right now, I think you're in that same position. So it's a very simple question. When does Curtis Sliwa officially announce he's running again for mayor?
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You know, I don't have your super spectacular hearing aids that the doc who's away in Paris installed.
No, she's in Rome. She's in Rome. She saw Coldplay last night.
Let me tell you something about hearing aids. I won't get them because, you know, my hearing is as bad as yours.
Oh, my God. You're just like Joe Biden. You wouldn't even answer the question.
Well, let me tell you something because you mentioned that. Last night I get home. It's 2, 3 in the morning from Queensbridge, from all the migrant shelters who are not going inside. Nancy right away barrages me verbally. You know, the wife always waits for you. Danielle probably does the same thing. I am so happy that I don't have hearing aids because I say, I can't hear you. I cup my ears. And it's true. I can't hear you. And when I'm in the streets, guys, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to put a bullet in your head. And I cup my ears and go, yo, man, I can't hear it. No habla English. I mean, no. You need that as an excuse with your wives.
I get it. When are you going to announce you're running for mayor?
Well, none of your PIB business. In fact, I'm running up to the Bronx Hispanic Clergy Coalition in between shows when I come back for the Rip and Read. I am the guest of the Reverend Ruben Diaz Sr.
Oh, I love him.
All Hispanics, they're the ones who helped organize that rally in Crotona Park.
It was
back
huge.
in late May that really set this whole thing in motion for President Donald Trump. And I think they have a surprise for me.
Oh, you think they do?
I think they have a surprise for me.
You want to intimate what that surprise is, or leave it up to the listeners to figure it out?
This isn't like Three Kings Day. You know, this isn't like when you hit the piñata and all the prizes come out.
Right. So on the way out in the final 60 seconds, this officer in training, Edgar Ordonez, I believe, Edgar, he passed away. Very rigorous training, very, very hot. And your friend and mine, Sal Greco, sent me something. I didn't read it because he sends me 3 or 4 things a day, which blast all my friends at the NYPD. The mayor stuff, I don't care. I'm sick about the mayor, too. But I'm not going to go after my friends with the NYPD, which Sal does. I understand why Sal does it. But he was very critical of the NYPD yesterday after this guy died. Is that fair? What happened there?
No. Look, anybody who's ever played football, I played high school football, you show up in August, it's schwitzing.
Right. Corey Stringer died a couple of years ago for the Vikings.
Right. Coach tells you, take laps. You're probably collapsing. Then he sits you down and he shoves like 29 salt tablets down your mouth. And you have to drink from the bucket. Remember the old bucket?
Yes.
With the ladle. Because they see he's saying, oh, my God, you're going to pass out. This has happened in high school sports, college sports, pro sports. Look, we feel for this young cadet, but I can't blame the NYPD.
Okay.
I mean, this is part of the training process. I don't know what went wrong with him medically. There's a lot to fault. This is not one of them. But I want to bring up one thing to you before I bid adieu and head up to the Bronx Hispanic Clergy Coalition. Whatever happened to that mask ban that was, we're going to have a mask ban a few weeks ago. Mask ban. It was Hochul. There was Adams. Mask ban. What did I tell you? There'll never be a mask ban.
Well, the problem wasn't Adams this time because he's all for it. He doesn't make that decision. In fact, he makes no decisions. It was Hochul. And I believe that Hochul's husband is still raking in a ton of money.
Oh, yes, he is. The grifter. He's
right.
Mr. Grifter.
From these mask companies, these COVID companies. I believe Hochul and her husband should be in prison for how much money they made. So the governor continues to talk about sick people. Idiot. There's no more COVID. And if you're a sick person, guess what? Just like you had to carry around a card for COVID, carry around a card that says, I have to wear a mask. Otherwise, take the goddamn masks off.
You know how they wine, dine, and pocket line Holcomb because she's full of nonsense. They just go to the husband there, who's a real dimrod, and they say, "Oh, can we hire you as a consultant?"
Of course.
Oh, can we
And he gets big money.
They made $1 million last year. How the hell? Nobody wants to ask that question.
I know.
How do you make in joint income filings an extra $1 million? It's Mr. and Mrs. Grifter. New York State is for sale as more and more people continue to leave for Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Texas, Tennessee. The exodus continues because we are led by Kathy Hochul, who's full of nonsense. Whatever happened to that mask ban, huh? All these politicians at press conferences. Curtis Sliwa, I'm on your jock straps and your bra straps because you're all full of schnitzel. Schnitzel.
But we're never gonna survive unless we get a little crazy. Though we're never gonna survive unless we are a little.
Hi, it's Lou Dobbs for Priority Gold, America's precious metals dealer. These are volatile times with high inflation, soaring debt, wars on multiple continents, and rising financial stress. Central banks are buying gold to diversify their reserves, so are many Americans. Call Priority Gold and find out how precious metals can help you diversify your portfolio. They're highly rated and happy to help. Call 1-866-303-6357 or get a free gold guide at PriorityGoldGuide.com. That's PriorityGoldGuide.com.